Hey, how's it going, everyone? Here is the Red with Charmander Kotobukiya figure. So this is the third Red figure that Kotobukiya have released. So the first version they did was with Red and Pikachu, Red in a standing position, and then the second one was Red in a crouching, kind of getting ready position, midway through a battle, you might say. I didn't have that one. I didn't get a chance to get it, so hopefully they do a reissue of that. And then now we're on to this third version of Red, which is more based on the Fire Red version of Red's design, so his outfit's a little bit different. So I bought mine from Nin Game. I'll put a link in the description below, and this was actually the Kotobukiya store exclusive version. So the difference is you just get an art illustration card like so. So it's a pretty cool illustration. It's done by the same person that does the illustration on the side, so this statue is based on this illustration basically. And there's a bit of a price difference because it's a third-party buy, so when you're using it in the game, you're paying around 2,000 yen difference between, say, about 8 or 9,000 yen just for this, and then it goes to about 11,000 yen just to include the illustration card. I don't know if that's really worth it, honestly. Leave that up to you. But if you're in Japan, the difference probably isn't that big of a deal. Illustration is nice though, so if you've got the other Kotobukiya figures, this can look pretty good once you've got them all together. Sadly, I kind of bent mine. You can't really tell from this angle. You see it's slightly there. But on the back, you'll see the crease there. That was my own fault. Really my own fault. So packaging wise, it's quite similar to the other stuff that's released in this Kotobukiya Pokemon series line. So you get a window display showing you the actual trainer character and then the accompanying Pokemon that comes with it. So in this case, Charmander, which looks really cool. Even if you wanted to keep these sealed, it's got a good look to them. So if you had them on your shelf as is, it looks pretty good. And even just first impression, looking through this window display, I really like the sculpting and the paint on is that these figures have been really awesome so far. So I've only got 3. This is my 4th one. But let's just go around to the side so you have an illustration of the artwork of the character and the Pokemon. It tells you it's done by Hitoshi Ariga. So that illustration card I showed you is the same one there. Then you get a picture of the actual statue or the figure itself. So it looks really cool. On the other side, Pokeball shaped cutout. On the top, same thing. And then on the bottom, just some company text. Similar to the other Kotobukiya figures, the inner graphics are going to be used a silhouette of the accompanying Pokemon, so Charmander in this case, and then a Pokeball graphic, and then Red with Hitokage in English text, kind of tiled around it. Once you get Red out of the box, this is what it's going to look like with Charmander just behind him as well. So I don't have the other Kotobukiya figures outside at the moment, so we're just going to focus on this figure purely on its own. So let's take a look at Charmander first, because he stands separately entirely, and then we'll take a look at the Red figure. So this Charmander figure, the sculpt on it is really nice, really clean. I love it, to be quite honest. It's really cool. There's minor imperfections, for example. There's a bit of a smudge on his cheek, which I'm hoping getting a damp cloth and just cleaning it should do the trick. But we'll kind of have to wait and see about that one. But generally, the sculpting on this guy is super nice. Really cool. I like the way his mouth is as well. The teeth detail is really nice as well. It's a very cute looking figure, really cute pose as well. He just stands on the one leg, and then the tail balances as well. Let's show you that on this side too. If you are worried that he might topple over, then you can probably put some blue tack on the underside of his foot and he should be okay. But I think he'll be fine anyway. But in general, this guy looks really cool. I like the flame on his tail as well. Depending on how the light hits it as well, you might see certain things kind of stand out a bit more than others. And that's really cool. I just like the way this overall sculpt has turned out. So then let's take a look at Red. So Red stands on a metallic red base with the Pokeball icon on top of it. So it's quite similar to the other trainer characters that I've opened before, and the only other characters that I've got. So that's Red, Green, and Professor Oak, who's Professor, not a trainer. But then let's take a look at the sculpt and some paintwork on this guy anyway. So his cap looks pretty good, pretty clean as well. His hair, same thing as well. Face, I really like the eyes on this guy. They really pop nicely. Hopefully you guys can see that. His smirk is not symmetrical, and I'm totally cool with that. I think it adds a bit of character to him, a bit of uniqueness, having that asymmetry with that smirk. Pretty cool, I think. Collars as well, nicely done. And then down to the torso, the bag straps, detail on that right here as well. Let's go around to the back, onto his bag itself. So it looks pretty good as well. Again, pretty decent and clean paint for the most part. I don't really have much to complain about up top here, to be honest. Let's show you the Pokeball because that's a bit harder to capture. Let's show you the other side here. It's pretty nicely done. Going down then to his pants. His pants are quite generic, you could say, but they're done nicely anyway. Show you that. And then down to his sneakers. So his sneakers had a little bit of dust on mine, so I just kind of need to wipe those clean a little bit better. You can see here, it was a bit worse when I took it out of the box, but damp cloth should get that sorted real quick. Kind of show the underside here and in there. So there's a screw on the base on some of the others, but it's not a big deal. So to summarize, I love the way this figure looks. I love the sculpt of it. I love the paintwork on it. It's simple and clean. With anything, you look close enough, you're going to find some imperfections, but at a natural distance, this shouldn't really bother you anyway. I wish I could afford to buy all of them and have the space to display all of them, because this line of figures is turning out to be super cool looking actually. Kotobukiya actually is part of the reason I got into this hobby. So I saw this stuff many years ago when they used to do like Final Fantasy 7 stuff, I think it is, and 7 and 8. And I was kind of blown away with their stuff, and that's how I transitioned into action figures, and now circling back to buying a Kotobukiya figure again, now for Pokemon. Yeah, it means something to me, I suppose. You should check out some of Kotobukiya's stuff, because they cover like IP from all sorts of things, from anime, superheroes, and video games, and they're not always super expensive. Some of their stuff scales downwards to like more affordable stuff. They're not like Prime One Studios super expensive stuff. So check them out, because they do some really, really great stuff as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my channel for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.